the radio, building dreams and achieving more, telling it just like it is. Most of all, keeping it real. Are you ready for real talk? Changing lives and communities. Real talk. Saving all our families. Real talk. Bringing hope for you and me. Real talk. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Real Talk with Judy. The Real Talk with Judy live radio show, and we are here once again on this beautiful Tuesday morning. I don't know what it looked like with y'all in wherever you're from, but in Tallahassee, it is a beautiful Tuesday. I mean, absolutely beautiful Tuesday, and we're so glad that you're joining us again. Hello, Tanya, Mama on. Hey. But we're so glad to have you all on so very much. If y'all would go ahead and tag and share. And as you all know, we as I say hello to my mama, you just heard me say my sister Tanya is on. So my mom is in the background listening. But I do want to say that I am so thankful to have all of you all on once again this beautiful Tuesday morning. But as I was stating, go ahead and tag and share. While I say good morning to my mom and greet her once again, I am so thankful to have my mom, Mother Dr. Irma Hunter Wesley, here with us today. She's in Fort Lauderdale, but she's tuned in, and we are so thankful. Yes. She asked about her girl. I was in Fort Lauderdale. She asked about her a couple of times. That's Dr. Q. Hey, Mom, I love you. And I had to bring Dr. Q back on this show because my mama want to see Dr. Q. My mama want to see Dr. Q. Where is my girl? She's right here today, Mama. She's right here today. One day, me and Dr. Q going to fly to Fort Lauderdale, and you're going to get a visit with her. I'm coming. We having crabs. When I, she loves them crabs. Let's go, Mama. Mama eat crabs like me, boy. And so, and all of you outside, but I'm so thankful to all of you who are continually praying for my mom. Don't ever take off your prayer list. All right, as long as there's life in her body, keep praying for her. Every day is a good day because she's above ground. Every day. And so we thank God so very much for her. And I'm gonna say this on the radio to all these thousands of people, Dr. Q. When you have siblings who sacrifice their life to take care of your parent, your parent, that's your mama too. That mama has raised you. That mama has given so much to you. Your mother, help your siblings take care of your mom. Right. Sometimes you not be able. That's gonna be a whole nother show. We got to do a show on that. We got to do it because I think every child should be responsible. Right. That's my thought. Right. And you take the sacrificing sibling for granted. And they giving up a lot. And equal opportunity to care for our parents. And so, and that's one of the things I can say that I'm really thankful unto God. Yes. That my siblings and my sister Tanya, her daughter Kiara, her husband, they sacrificed everything. Wow. But you better believe if they asked for anything, they got it. Right. They got it because some of us are just not able to be there all of the time. Right. But we're gonna make sure that they're taken care of. Right. My sister from Scotland, all of us, me, Carolyn, Chico, Robin, we're gonna make sure Tanya have what they need, and then give them some extra. Right. They not gonna crabs too. Or a nice bikini. Right. Just sit in the room with your mama. But I just had to say that because it takes a lot. They give up sleep. I was down in Fort Lauderdale, and they know how they want to do it. Right. They got a system. Right. So I can't go down there and disrupt the system. Right. So I just do that in. Be helpful. Be helpful. And you don't have to ask, do you need me? You know they need. Right. So send them a quarter or something. Send them something. Yeah. Anyway, Dr. Q, we're gonna handle that.
We need to.
Because and those siblings, they get tired. Not that they don't want to take care of parents, they get tired,
right?
Overwhelmed, and sometimes they're aggravated,
right? And it's not fair to discount that. It's not fair to act like they don't get to have that moment,
right? And they do.
And if they want a trip, y'all I know your family. We all going. Everybody going on.
Everybody going on.
I love the way your family does family together.
Oh yes, man. We're gonna take care of each other, and we're gonna do family. And we're gonna make sure everything is happening good,
right,
for each other. And I want to say this while we're talking. It ain't that we don't fuss and fight and get mad with each other, because we do.
Right.
But what goes ahead of that is that we're family.
Family. Right.
We're family. So all that is the introduction to my mom. All that is the introduction.
We love you, mama.
To say hi and to say Tallahassee, thank you all so very much. And not just Tallahassee, the whole world. I can actually say the whole world is continuously in prayer for my mom. And I thank you all so very much for praying for my mom and my sisters. All right. So Minister Howard, you're on. You're on. God bless you, Minister Howard. God bless you. Thank God so very much for you and being on this morning. My sister Cindy from Scotland is here, and Sister Tanya and Carolyn is over there, and everybody. I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. Also want to say thank you to my husband. Hello to my husband.
Yes.
Sometimes he get to tune in from work, and I want to say just thank you, sweetheart, for allowing me to do what I do and making sure that I can do it well. I want to say thank you so very much to Priscilla, who's the director of my marketing team. Thank you all so very much, Priscilla, and your staff for what you all do. Greatly appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody. Just thank you. Thank you for making this to be an award-winning show. An award-winning show twice. Right. We got a radio host of the year.
Yes.
Twice. One from the Tampa Bay, and one out of Tampa, and one out of West Palm Beach.
Hallelujah.
I didn't even know I was nominated, but I just thank God for what we're doing. Before I get started, I want to read a poem by Ava DuVernay. Not a poem, I'm sorry. A quote, and I quote, "Ignore the glass ceiling and do your work. If you're focusing on the glass ceiling, focusing on what you don't have, focusing on the limitations, then you will be limited. And as I read that, my sisters and brothers who are joining in, we are our own limitation. We set our own limitation on us. I don't care what anybody else says. We set our own limitation. We cannot see ourselves as unable to accomplish anything. We can't do that. And we can't see ourselves as they saw in the Bible as grasshoppers.
Right.
We're greater than a grasshopper.
Right.
You have to see yourself greater than a grasshopper. You can do more than hop. Right?
Right.
So, and today, to help me navigate through our topic of discussion today is always my number one co-host, Dr. Yaquanda McCall.
That will be me. Hey, y'all. I miss y'all. I love you.
Pull her handle down a little bit so to be out your face.
Oh.
Yeah, they want to see your face. So, but we want to thank you, Dr. McCall, for being back.
Yes, I'm home.
And when she's home, y'all have to grab her because y'all know she'll be in New Mexico tomorrow. We're looking for Las Vegas or California.
Aruba.
But today she's here with us. And I'm honored to have for the first time on the Real Talk with Judy show a young lady I've grown to admire. We serve together on the Commission of the Status of Women and Girls. She is the vice chair of the Tallahassee Leon County Commission of the Status of Women and Girls. I want to welcome to the Real Talk with Judy show. Very phenomenal young lady. Y'all are here today. Dr. Jasmine Bryant. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here with you all.
Yeah, yes. We're gonna have a good talk, y'all. The Commission on the Status of Women and Girls preparing for a very powerful conference. here
Absolutely.
in Tallahassee next Monday, as a matter of fact, and we're going to get into that. It's going to be powerful. We serve with some powerful women, with some very powerful women, and you're going to hear some of that. And so we are excited about that. Today, we're going to discuss the status of women and girls. We're going to discuss that. We're going to talk about Dr. Jasmine. We're going to talk about the conference. We're going to talk about just some issues with the women and girls. And one of the things I want to say, and I want y'all to know, before I say that, y'all got to know Dr. Jasmine, right? Y'all know Dr. Q. Well, y'all know Dr. Q. Everybody know Dr. Q, right? Near and far. Only than having a 5 a.m. morning prayer for how many years?
Almost 7 years. Every day.
Woo, every day. But she's absolutely a phenomenal woman. She's my friend, my sister. Her mom is my heart as well. And so, so y'all know, Dr. Q, you want to know anything else about you for right now?
I love you. You're awesome and amazing. I want you to shift.
Oh, what about that prayer last night?
Woo, insert shout. It was good. That was phenomenal. We put to flight every demon, every evil spirit, every trick and trap of the enemy. We were in unity too.
Oh, we were.
Oh my gosh, I loved it.
That was absolutely phenomenal. And when you understand that you ain't fighting each other, and I'm not going to give this group because of this, that's ludicrous. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, right? Right. That's not what we're going to do. And so we're going to get into this. Dr. Jasmine, tell the people something about you.
All right. So I'm really excited. Thanks so much for having me again to be a part of your show and talk about the CSWG. As stated, I am the vice chair for the Tallahassee-Leon County Commission on the Status of Women and Girls, and I also chair our Health and Development Committee. So we have had a very active and busy year. As my full-time job, I'm an assistant professor in the School of Allied Health Sciences at Florida A&M University. I'm a mom, a wife, and I'm just excited to be here, excited to be doing the work of community work. So Thanks so much.
And she's young, so she get to offer so much to us. She get that. So we have here a plethora, some age group that can really talk about the status of women and girls. One of the things, even before we dive into and that's a busy little schedule for a little young girl. A little young girl.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Youngin, you are busy. The old folk used to call you, youngin.
Youngin. I'm thankful, yes. I'm a youngin, hard at work.
Right. But that is a great thing because we're living now, and Dr. Q, you can attest, young women, Dr. Jasmine age, didn't have the opportunity that she has now.
Wow.
Well, what do you want to say? We wasn't allowed to do some stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We were not our limitations.
Yeah.
There were limits put on what we could do, where we were allowed to lead, what community we could be a part of. But the shackles are off. You are proof. You are proof of prophecy.
Yeah, because they wanted women to just have children and cook.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We couldn't even vote.
Those gender roles, gender expectations. What do you need college for? Stay home, keep the family going. Absolutely.
Oh, talk to us, Dr. Jack.
Talk, honey.
Hey, I'm young, but I understand the struggle before me and the struggle we still are pressing forward through. So absolutely.
I like what you just said. You understand the struggle before you. And how important do you believe that understanding that struggle is to us processing further?
I think it's really important that we understand our past and our struggles so that when we start to see things that resemble our past, we know what we need to do to prevent or redirect, right? So I think a lot of the things that we say were in the past, we still see traces of it. It just may manifest differently. But those struggles that women endure and girls endure, they still exist. They just manifest differently now.
Oh, so we're going to be down with young. And as you all know, this conversation is a conversation. This discussion is a discussion. But what we want to do, the goal after you have watched this show, is that you will have enough confidence in yourself as a woman, as a young girl, that you will understand that there is no glass ceiling.
Come on.
And you have to take it off of your own eyes, because if you don't, you limit yourself. You limit yourself. And as Dr. Jasmine just stated, now, when you see it, because it is still here, women are still being oppressed.
Yes.
And point, if those girls go to the WNBA, the most they can make starting off is $76,000. $76,000.
Wow.
The least they can make, $76,000. A man can make $1 million. They will start, and I know this because I've been watching the news and stuff.
So you schooling us, right?
Take us to school.
Yeah, $76,000. And so they said it's going to be revisited next year to see if they can get them more. What do y'all think about that?
Wow.
76,000. The game that they played, and we know it was because of Stanley, Angela, and Caitlin. Over 18 million people.
Right, I think they broke the record, right?
They
For
broke the
NCAA
record.
viewership
Wow.
for championship game.
And first over, there was only one game in the NBA, the World Olympics, and a hockey championship that outbeat them. Other than that, they had the most views anywhere.
Wow.
Any sport.
Wow.
Any sport.
Wow.
Breaking ceilings.
Breaking
Right.
ceiling.
Right.
Yeah.
Then they can only get $76,000 in pay.
That's time to compensate that ceiling being broken.
Okay. So as to your point, once we see it, we have a responsibility to say something, I believe.
Absolutely. I think that one of the things that's working to the advantage is, you know, obviously the element of social media, right? Getting information out there, getting messaging out there to help folks see what previously, if you weren't in that area or in that community or at that table, you didn't know what was going on, right? So that advocacy component and the important role that social media plays in getting that information out and letting folks tell their own stories, I think it's been a really a good game changer.
I totally agree with that, you know, because now you can't deny it. You know, one of the things we like to do is deny it, because we think if we deny it, then that negates our responsibility towards it. But just because you act like it's not a problem does not negate your responsibility to contribute to the solution. Because if you're not contributing to the solution, you become a part of the problem.
Yes.
So this is a conversation saying, hey, we see this, we recognize this, because African American women, just to insert, we work twice as hard just to get paid twice as less. And I know my grammatical construct might be a little bit off on that, but I just have to make that point.
The point was there. Yeah, the point was there.
And that's true. And we can't be afraid to say anything. We can't be afraid to say anything. We can't be afraid to say that's not fair, that's unjust. But this is what I believe. There's power in numbers. There's power in numbers.
Right.
So we don't just go out screaming and hollering, I ain't getting the right money. No. You come to the table, you collaborate, then you present your case.
Right.
What do y'all think?
Right.
I think that's important. I think making the case takes due diligence, right? To get folks to really understand and for you to be able to communicate it in a way where it's not putting folks on the defense, but it's stating the facts of the matter, right? So when we're talking about pay, when we're talking about equal pay or equitable pay, we know that economic status has an impact across several areas, right? So we're going to talk about the summit, but the economic impact on health, right? Especially minority health, right? So all of these things are not just our day-to-day, you know, topics of conversation. They actually impact how we carry our lives and actually how long we live. So I think how we present those cases matter.
Right. And so we have to have people who are at the table in order to make some comments for those who are screaming outside saying, I can't get my medicine. And they really don't they may say stuff like, it's prejudice, it's because I'm black or because I'm brown or because I'm this, but they don't really understand the dynamics. So we have people like Dr. Brain and the different ones, the Tallahassee, Leon County Commission on the Status of Women and Girls, and different ones who can sit at the table and say, let's make this better.
Right.
And then educate the people. I think it's important that we are educated.
Mm-hmm. And, it's important that we educate and that we are also being educated, right? So if you remember, Dr. Judy, we had a time where we were doing listening sessions with community, like inform us, educate us too on your lived experiences, because that's the only way we can make sure that the solutions we're identifying are applicable. Because sometimes folks we're at the table and the solutions we're coming up with are not applicable to community,
right? Because
we haven't spoken to community or we haven't listened to community. Good. So I think that's one of the assets that we have as the CSWG is we do take the time to listen and educate as well as be educated from community, so we can really have that impact we're seeking to have.
I mean, that's one of the things that I really liked about it too, because we got to talk to a community. We got to hear people's thoughts. We got to hear their anger.
Especially during COVID. I mean, our young girls and what they were experiencing, while at home and taking care of siblings and trying to cook and do homework. I mean, all of those things matter.
Wow. And to know that you have people who listen, that is very important. And I think that's one of the things that we have to understand. We have to listen to understand, not just listen to give our input.
Right.
Otherwise, there'll never be a good solution.
Right.
I always say, can't nobody tell me how to run 1911. That's why I live. And so I don't care. You can come in my house, you can walk around the door. You cannot tell me what 1911 means. I know what 1911 means. Mr. Mandrell knows what 1911 or what we want. Or what we want. I went into a house, 12 people in the family, husband and a wife, 10 children, 2.5 bedrooms. 2.5 bedroom. I asked because I was Dream Builder Family Affair. We're going to make different, not to say, Judy, you need to know. That's not that. Yeah. So I said, after we built a relationship, I think I went about a month and a half before I even asked what they wanted to do better, because we just can't tell folks what they. So I asked the children, what do they want? They want a big TV on the wall. They said that'll make their living better. Wow. Some people would have gone in there and said, that don't even make sense. You don't need a TV. Where are you going to put a TV in this little house? Wow. You know what we put on the wall and it filled the entire little wall? A 50-inch TV. Wow. A 50-inch TV. What they had to do, they had to participate in school, make sure they took care of the house, and that kind of stuff. But that's your TV. Wow. So we're working together. Because my job too was to help them with their education. Right. The father said what he wanted, he could not afford, was to paint his entire house. We had some brothers to take him to the store to find the paint. And the men in the community helped paint the house. Okay. We had a cookout. Wow. Some people thought that was wasting money. That's because they don't understand the dynamics of the Black American family. You feed us, you have a cookout. That's family time.
Right. It's bonding. It's connection.
Bonding. It's everything. They painted the man's house. The woman wanted the dining room table. I'm saying to myself, how in the world are we gonna put a dining room table in here? But another lady working with us figured it out. She had her dining room table. The family was doing good. The children went from D's and F, halfway attending school, to going to school all the time, and they all went up to C's and B's. Wow.
Progress.
Wow. Yeah. C's and B's. They went up to C's and B's. One little boy now, he kept making a D, and he said, it stands for dumb. I said, no, it stands for dip. He said, what dip mean? I'm going to dip you in that pool if you don't. You know what I'm saying? Our sister Cindy from Scotland says struggle is perception based.
That's really good. That's really good, because outside looking in, I want to give you a bigger house. But if you can't maintain a bigger house, I just made a bigger mess. So why not come in like you did and build my confidence and build my perception of myself? Let me know I can have the very things that I dreamed of. Guess what? I'm going to keep dreaming. You just painted my house. Guess what I'm gonna keep next? Next thing you know, we're gonna put some grass outside. Next thing, all of these things. It was amazing. That was how you move in community. You don't come in trying to tell me what you think, what you would have done.
Yeah.
No, you come in and you sit with me. Joel's friends got in trouble when they started talking. When they sat there, if you could just sit with me, then maybe you'll have the empathy to help me to have the confidence to be able to stand on my own 2 feet. But to hold my arms up like y'all did, I'm over here crying like, I'm crying, baby. Oh my God, it's just so amazing.
And that's what I believe women have. That's what we have to learn as women. We help each other grow. We help each other grow. We learned that from our community. We help each other grow. We build each other up. You're standing on somebody's shoulder.
Absolutely.
You're standing on something. Me, I'm standing on somebody's shoulder. I put on there because I stopped at the gym and I have my mama picture on there. Why? That's an incentive, right? I want her proud. She's proud of me in so many areas. But I want her proud that I'm able to go to that gym every day and exercise.
Right.
Right. Because she's accomplished so much. My grandmother, my great grandmother. I don't negate the fact that I'm standing on these women's shoulders.
Right.
So we can be the doctors and the doctor of health and all the stuff that you're doing as a young woman. And that's what our young women need to see. We didn't just get here. We're working hard.
Absolutely. Yeah. It doesn't come easy. And struggle as perception, I wanted to go back to that because I think that also ties into the factor of resilience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how we perceive the things that we go through matters because it determines how we go through it.
Yes.
Right. So if we are like, hey, this is something that is uncomfortable, but I'm going to figure out how I can make this work. I'm going, where are my resources? Where are my connections? It really facilitates that resilience factor. And we see that happen. You see some folks come up the same way in the same struggle, and it's 2 different outcomes. And when we look at it, we really attribute a lot of that success that one person may have had to their resilience, their ability to overcome those adversities and struggles. So struggle is perception. I think that's a really powerful thing to keep in mind because how we perceive our struggle determines how we go through it.
That's true. I talked to a young girl at Nims Middle School about 2 years ago, and she lived in the project, and she told us that she saw a lot of alcohol, drugs, a lot of abuse, and everything. She was an A+ student.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. She was in 8th grade, nothing but A's. So I was doing a class with her, and I asked, what causes you to want to make all A's? And you just told us that you hadn't seen no one graduate from high school in your family. What made, she said, I want to be the first so my little cousins, my little sister, my little brother would know that there's a way of escape other than selling drugs.
Wow. In 8th grade.
8th grade. And I think now, because I keep in touch, I think now she's on her 2nd master's, getting ready to be going into her college. She wants to be a pediatrician.
Wow.
That's outstanding.
But that's not what she was raised in.
Right.
Ooh. But that gave her a desire to get out. But her reason for getting out was to go back and help.
Yeah, to help. It wasn't just for herself.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. And that's what women have in us. We have a perception in us. Like Harriet Tubman, she said, "Oh, you're gonna be free, or I'm gonna kill you." Because
free or die.
Free or die. That's it. That's it. Because she had come to the realization that everyone deserved to be free.
Right.
She tasted it. And when you taste it and it's good, you want somebody else to taste it, right?
Right.
Especially if your heart is in the right place, right? If you want to see that goodness trickle down, that certainly is a motivating factor.
Yeah. And that's another thing I enjoy about the Commission on the Status of Women and Girls is that, number one, we're different. Right. It's a group of different women, Black, white, Cuban, old, young, Dr. O'Connor. She said she's my psychologist. Dr. O'Connor. But it is a thought process that we get to have, and we could disagree to come together to a common conclusion that will help our citizens. or help us take back to the city and county commission some of the things that we've thought of.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's power in having different voices at the table. If everybody's voices sound the same, somebody is going to get left out in community, right? And so having all the different perspectives and lived experiences at the table has really been a true asset to us to really help us think holistically about what folks are dealing with, especially women and girls in our county, in our city. And so we do have an advantage that we have those commissioners' ears to advocate for those issues for sure.
And that's what we have to. That's what we have to have, Dr. Q. We have to have. We have to listen to the people.
That's right.
And then we have to be able to articulate exactly what they're saying without adding. My sister put on here, which is very true. Freedom can be frightening. So let's talk about that for a moment. As women, and we're helping women come to another perception of themselves. What do you say? Freedom can be frightening.
When you have established a mindset of poverty or a pattern of this is all that I can have or all that I have access to, when somebody opens the door, it's like my cat, my grandcat, Zuko. How did he make it to the show today? Zuko looks at, all he does every day is stand at the window and look outside. When I open the door, Zuko runs. That is, it's like, open the door, run, go play. No. Because sometimes you can see it for other people, but you can't see it for yourself. You can see other people's success, but until you understand that you have access to that same success, you'll be frightened at what it takes to get there. You take one step toward it, and I'm telling you, God will open doors and give you a voice that you never knew was possible. But sometimes that's just one aspect. Sometimes we are afraid because one, we don't think we deserve it. You've been told your entire life you're nothing, you're never going to be anything. When you see somebody else, you think, oh, they deserve it. Oh, they're wonderful. I'm not. But today we pull all those lies down. We put on all those strongholds. If you can see yourself doing it, you can do it. See it before you see it, or you never will see it.
You summed it up.
That was good, Dr. Q. Cindy said there's a responsibility involved in freedom. You become responsible for your own life, right? Not only your wins, but your losses.
That's what she was. That's what Dr. Bryant was just saying. Your perception.
Yeah, and I think to the point of freedom is frightening. It's also always, anytime we have an unknown experience, the fear of the unknown. Okay, yes, I've gotten to this place now. What does this mean for me? How do I maintain it? Because some folks, when we're talking about freedom or just advancement or success, there also comes that responsibility to maintain that success and then continue to excel and then bring other people with you. So sometimes navigating those new areas can be a challenge with figuring out how exactly do I not go back to where I came from, right? Wow. So I think that's really important as folks try to navigate that new success that they may find.
And I think that's going to be one of the main things about our conference is that there are going to be solutions given or suggested in different areas. Right. Let's talk a little bit about the conference, Dr. Jazz.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. So there will be 15 different tracks for people to go through. We'll have tracks on women can run, right? Teaching women and giving them the information to assist them in running for public office. We know that there's a huge gap between women and women filling local, state, national offices. And so we'll have a track there. We'll have a track relevant to violence and safety and sex trafficking. And we'll have tracks on resilience and tracks on economic security. And so all of these different areas are important that we tap into, because if we just talk about the health, but you can't afford to eat healthy, you can't afford to, do these things, then, how solution driven are we, right? So the goal of the summit, the Are You Ready Summit, the Advocacy, Resilience, and Empowerment Summit that will be hosted by the Tallahassee-Leon County Commission is to tackle on all of those areas as best as we can, right? We know we can't, hit every single thing.
Right.
But the goal is to just give a little bit in each of those areas so that women and girls can, be empowered, have some ideas about the things they want to pursue and the resources to help them pursue it. And this conference or summit is not just for women and girls. Men, boys, you all are welcome because you all are a part of the solution as well. Collectively, we thrive. So that's just a little bit about the summit.
Yeah, and we really want you to go. We want you, since y'all should bring it international. They're gonna try to get everything over there in Scotland. Everything to come to Scotland. She is very influential in the UK, and so we want to thank her for all of her input. And you just said something. We're collectively successful.
Yes.
The men can't do it without the women, and the women can't do it without the men.
Right.
And so, we have to learn how to really come together to do that. I love the fact that the tracks have been put together to really empower our community, to help us see that. I was talking to a young lady yesterday, and she's in a domestic violence situation. And she told me she can't leave because she can't afford it, and because she only make this much money, and he pays this and he pays that, and he does this and he does this, and and I have learned I don't tell people to leave. I help to find a solution. So I'm praying. I talked with a couple of people at the refuge house, people who are more advanced than I am on that domestic violence, because I don't want to kill. And some of the things she was telling me yesterday, one of them might get hurt. And she said, I want to leave. She said, if you tell me right now to leave, I'm going to leave. I said, I'm not going to tell you right now to leave.
Yeah.
Because there's a danger. I learned. I used to tell people, just leave, honey, just leave.
Yeah, no.
Me too. I used to be like, what's the problem?
It's not that easy.
Boil the grits. Boil the grits.
Then I would tell them, get the grits. Get the grits. The grits don't work. Just keep something on the pillow and do what you have to do to protect you and your children. But I had to learn.
Yeah.
I had to learn better. That sometimes just up and leaving is more dangerous than staying. And she told me that he said, well, if you leave, ain't nobody gonna get you. Nobody else gonna have you. I've heard that, so I know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
And so coming to the summit, we want to help people even before they may get to that situation. Am I right?
Absolutely.
And to look at some signs, and because we will have some professionals there. We'll have people who have studied this a little more than us, or people who have been a victim of it.
Wow.
Who have learned how to navigate through this.
Right.
Same thing again, I know with the education, I concern a lot of, we have so many children who are missing school for one reason or another. We have, I forgot how many, I don't know if they said 600, I hope I'm correct, but if not, it was something like that. Over 600 children, when we had that last big rain, those children didn't go to school. Over 600.
Yeah.
And some because they got to cross Stop Street, it's dark, it's raining, and so instead of putting them in a more dangerous situation, the parents let them stay home. And then some children don't come to school, so that absenteeism is important to us.
Wow. Wow.
And so all of this is being addressed at that summit.
I love it. I love
And
it.
so we want you to go online and register.
Yeah.
Right.
There's still registrations available. Half days, if you're like, hey, I can't make it the entire day, there's a partial registration. Or if you want to be there the full day, we're accepting sponsorships or anything like that to support. So we will have the opportunity for girls that are in high school to attend the conference. And so we've been trying to make sure it's free or, affordable for them. So the CSWG has been working with sponsors so that those young girls can have a free experience at the summit, and they'll be fed, they'll take photos, get lots of information. And so we're just really trying to do our part to make the resources accessible.
Yeah. And I want to put in this, when people make things available like this, put things together, I really think that people need to show up. Right?
Yeah.
I really do. And they're bringing it to, and a lot of this, I think the majority of this, if not all of it, came from the conversations we had with the community.
Mm-hmm.
because they had several talks with the community. And based on what the community stated, this was put together to offer what the community stated, to put it to let her know, hey, we're not ignoring you. We're not just meeting to meet. We really want to be an asset to you. We really want to community, and it helps us.
Yeah.
As was stated earlier, it helps us because we got to learn. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. And ask questions and give input. And then we would put in small, as Dr. Jazz said, she leads the health LI part with our commission. I sit on the Department of Education committee with some smart educators. And I be sitting there too. I'm smart too.
You are smart.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Brilliant. But just to have the conversations and to give the input and you bounce things back and forth. And do you think that this will be relevant to talk about? And some things have been, now we'll scratch that. We won't talk about that this time.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's not relevant, it's just this time.
Right.
And so I think this is good, Dr. Q. I mean, you
really good.
And what do you think, even being a psychologist with the families, of how this conference sound? What do you think?
It sounds amazing, and the community part is so important because no, you may never be in a domestic violence situation, but you may encounter someone.
Yes.
So why not be equipped with the right answers? Because grits is the wrong answers. You're just creating a cycle of violence. So this is good for us, and it's very important that when we vocalize or when we speak out about how we feel or what we need, when the opportunities are made available, that we jump on it, that we show up, that we let them know, hey, you heard us. Now we are responding to you hearing us, because everybody can talk. Right, but it's time to walk. It's time to go out. Maybe you're not running, but maybe you'll be able to support somebody running. I'm already looking like, am I gonna be on the bench? It's like, wow, I'm just seeing this. I'm ready. I'm going to sponsor somebody. I can't go because this is what we want. Right. This is what we need. Especially as African American women, we need help. We need each other, and this sets the stage perfectly. I like Dr. Jazz.
You like that?
I like her.
I like you too, Dr. Q. It's a pleasure.
And so, and we want to do that. I looked this up today. Poverty and lack of economic opportunities. It said more than 340 million women and girls are projected to live in extreme poverty by 2030. Wow. More than 340 million women and girls are projected to live in extreme, not just poverty, extreme poverty by 2030.
Wow, that's scary.
It said this represents a staggering 8% of the global female population surviving on less than, that's the US dollars, $2.15 a day. I don't know if that make y'all alarmed, but I saw that. I'm like, alarmed. I saw that. I'm like, wow. If we don't get some type of handle over our economics, the women and children are going to be headed for a more severe disaster than ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when I hear that, when I was like, okay, 2030, I'm like, wait, that's 6 years from now, right? That's not even a decade. Usually you hear data and it's like 10 years out projection. When you think about how the health and well-being of, let's say, even a country is measured, or a city, it's measured based on how well your most vulnerable can survive, right? And so when we're looking at even our maternal mortality rates and our infant mortality rates, a lot of that is tied to economic stability, right? So if you have your most vulnerable that cannot thrive or survive or make it or sustain, it's a glaring indicator that something is going wrong. right? And I know that our primary conversation is on the summit, but that's another effort that the CSWG is doing, is developing a dashboard, because we're trying to measure what is going on and what exactly is the status of women and girls across all of these areas, because they intersect, right? If we're looking at economics, if we're looking at poverty, that has a direct relationship on mental health.
Yes.
It has a direct relationship on physical health. It has a direct relationship on education, finishing high school, going to college, pursuing careers. And so when we hear the word poverty, it's almost like sometimes we see it in a silo, but really it's a bigger picture. And it is alarming to hear that.
It's alarming. Woo. Here's another one. Inadequate access to education and health care. By 2030, an estimated 110 million girls and young women may remain out of school. Wow. Do y'all see how important it is that we don't have time to fight? We got to get this stuff together.
Work to be done.
We got a lot of work to do. We got to help make a difference now, because we can change the trajectory the way it's going. But it takes a lot of work. And a lot of times the women are going to do the work, and we're going to be underpaid, because we're now, it says here, I did it. We got 68. We have 68% of the women who are working, 61% of prime working age women participate in the workforce. 61%, according to 91% of prime working age men. However, women receive 89% less than what men make.
Wow, that's a large number.
Now, we made some progress, and we got a lot of progress going, but we still have a long ways to go. And so women, we got to be concerned, because we have grandchildren and daughters and nieces and people coming up behind us where we are right now. I'm just talking about where we are now.
Right.
But we got to help pull these women and girls up.
Right.
And we have to help them to understand that they have to help us pull them up. Sometimes they can't at that moment, but we have to help them see hope.
Right.
We have to help people see. We have to give them, we said that, Dr. Q, we have to help them see. So you help them take off the glasses they're wearing.
Wow.
And you clean it. And sometimes you have to clean it for them.
Wow.
Because they don't even know how to get their fingerprints and the dust off. So you take it and say, let me show you, baby. That come at the grandmother now. Am I right? My great grandmother used to sit me down. She was an old woman. Them old women sit down, open your legs, sit right here. Let me tell you something. They start combing your hair. They ain't hold it like they do now. Now they hold it because they learned that that's a better way to hold it. But in the old days, no one just comb your hair, just snatch your hair. You have a headache for 3 weeks and they don't know why. You don't have a headache. You don't have a headache. Don't say your back hurt. You ain't old enough. You don't even have a back. That heard what I'm saying? You don't even have a back. Your back don't hurt. What in the world?
You a child.
Yeah. And so as we're preparing and we're talking, we hope that you will grasp hold to this, women and girls. We hope that you will share this, because y'all, we got to help each other. It's okay to dance. I love dance. That's why I said that. It's okay to dance, but you better know the lyrics of the songs you're dancing to. You better say that. And if you're going to be somebody, you got to wake up and smell. Who that, sister girl? Your sister?
Wake up and pay attention.
Wake up and pay attention. Okay, because we got to be better. And women, we have an opportunity to excel higher than ever. Ain't no glass ceiling. We're taking it off.
Right.
We're taking it off. And we have more of us, I believe, Dr. Q, Dr. Jan, I believe that there's more women for women than we than really know.
Right.
So I said, let's help bring us up.
Absolutely.
Let's help. Y'all say something. Talk to us, Jazz. Talk to us. Just talk to the women and the girls out there. And then we're gonna come at you, give some final stuff on the conference. But talk to the women, speak to the hearts of women and girls.
I would say to women and girls, and even I'll speak to myself too. Know that folks care, even when it may seem like you don't even know where exactly to find these people. And we toss around the word, work together. We toss around those things, but know that there are real people that act on those things. Know that from the, CSWG, we're actively working towards creating a better county, a better city for ourselves, because we know that our future depends on it, right? You just stated we have generations of folks coming behind us and the generations that are here right now. And so I would say know that there's someone who cares, know that there are people doing the work, and we want to hear from those who feel like they're not being heard or not being seen. We want to make the invisible visible. And so it's been a pleasure to be here and to talk with you all, but genuinely from CSWG, we care, and we really do hope that community comes to the summit and gets involved and share their experiences and take hold to any of the information and resources and effort that's being provided on April the 15th.
April the 15th, and the time is 8:30, 9 to 5. 8:30 to 5.
I think we have to be there early.
Oh,
8:30,
it's 11.
I'm
trying to get y'all to come work.
Right? She's trying to get you to volunteer. Right? But 11 to 8. Yes.
Okay.
So that is our timestamp. But genuinely, we know those barriers are there. We're not saying ignore them, right? We're saying we're acknowledging and tearing them down, right? So I'm excited.
That's right. You can't heal what you want to acknowledge.
Right.
So if you acknowledge it, work on it, something can be done. We're gonna make a dent in this city, here in Tallahassee, Leon County. We are, and we want you to know that we care, and a lot of you out there care. Mm-hmm. And so when we meet, we have open forum. The community can come in. The community can make comments and suggestions. It's good. It's good. Dr. Q,
listen, let's get some prayer points, right? So 1 in 4 African-American women are uninsured. The level of education attainment for African-American women has risen very slowly, but it still sits at a significantly lower level than that of our white counterparts. Entrepreneurship. African-American women-owned business continue to grow despite the significant financial and social obstacles. Economic security. African-American women continue to have higher rates of unemployment than their white counterparts and continue to have lower amounts of weekly usual earnings and median wealth compared to their male counterparts and their white women. I'm trying to make sure it's not like black and white, but it's just black and white. It's black and white. And so political leadership. Listen to this. While African-American women have a rich history of leadership in their communities, they are underrepresented in all levels of government. I believe Galatians 6 says something to us. It says, dear sisters, if another sister is overcome, those of us who are godly, those of us who have the mindset, those of us who have the means, let us humbly help our sisters get back on the right path. This is an opportunity for us to step up and be a part of the solution. Right? There's some good in every bad. Like Dr. Jazz said, it's your perception. The greatest lessons I have learned have been in what looked like to you failures. But to me, it was a preparation to try again. And the next time I tried again, you can bet your bottom dollar I did win. So it's your perception. So ladies, it's our time. Let's work with each other. I know it looks like we just pit against each other. We just cats and we just hating and we don't all. No, that's the world's, or that's the enemy's ideology. That is not true. There are more for you than there are against you. Let's step up to the plate. It's your time, and baby girl, it's your turn.
And so I say to that a quote from Michelle Obama. She said, don't be afraid. Be focused. Be determined. Be hopeful. Be empowered. That's what we leave you with today, my sisters. We want you to make it. You can make it. You got to see it. That's what my bishop said. You got to see it before you see it. or you never will see it. So as that little girl in the 8th grade at NIMS did, she saw what was happening in her house, in her community, but she also saw herself going and get knowledge and becoming part of the solution to what she saw as hopelessness for some in her community. She was raised around hopelessness, but she never allowed it to get in her spirit. So we say to you, keep your head up. Keep your head up. Keep moving.
Yes.
There's more for you than against you. I look to see you April the 15th at
11
where?
at the Turnbull Center at FSU.
Or you can come with me at 8:30
And work.
And volunteer.
and volunteer.
Work.
We accept volunteers as well. Jasmine, I want to thank you, Dr. Jasmine. Brian, I want to thank you so very much for being here with us today.
Yes.
Very powerful young woman.
Beautiful.
And we thank you so very much, y'all. She's right here. She's the the vice chair of our Tallahassee Leon Commission on the Status of Women and Girls, but her paid job is
She a bad girl, I'm telling you.
a paid job. How much your paid job? That's a paid job.
I'm an assistant professor at FAMU, School of Allied Health Sciences.
So
I
And
graduated.
Tallahassee native, so
Right.
I'm
Oh,
happy
you
to.
from Tallahassee?
I am.
My cousin. This is my cousin.
Yes, I'm very
I'm
proud
from Tallahassee. This is my cousin.
to be in the city of
I can
doing
fall
work.
out of that.
You still my cousin.
So I want to thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Y'all tuning in today to this great show. Look Dr. Jazz up. Y'all know where to find Dr. Q. Are you on Facebook?
I am. I'm on Facebook. Yeah,
Okay.
under Jasmine Simmons. I need to update it, but yes, I'm on Facebook.
Yeah, Jasmine Simmons. She gonna update the Jasmine Brain, I guess.
Yes, I am. Look, I'm young, but I do not keep up with social media as great as I should. So
She really
that's
does.
something I need to work on.
It's okay. And Dr. Q, you can find her on Facebook
I'm there. Yaquanda Speaks Life. We'll be there every day, 5 a.m. praying through.
every day.
All right.
And y'all know where to find me. I am Dr. Judy, a Real Talk host of the Real Talk with Judy live radio show every Tuesday at 11:30 right here on Hallelujah 95.3 FM. And you can always catch me on Facebook, Instagram, or come to church with me, like tonight at 7:30. You can come with me tonight at 7:30. That is our pre-anniversary service. Dr. Clarence Jackson. Man, we're going to have some good church. It's a good church. So y'all come on as they celebrate with us. We're celebrating for 30 years.
Woo! 30 years! Woo, woo!
30 years in December. We will be ministering in this city. 30 years. So y'all pray for us as we continue to go to the next level. Well, until next Tuesday, I pray that you will grow, and grow again. Grow spiritually, grow financially, and grow socially. All right? And grow educationally. One way to have money, always have money, save it. That's real talk.
Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with